Hi, welcome to my video. This is a tour of a stack of paintings that I recently finished, a stack of works on paper. And listen, this video is not going to be very exciting or thrilling. This is meant to be the sort of casual viewing that I enjoy on YouTube, much like a good lawn mowing video or something like that. So I'll just talk a little bit about this work and a little bit about my life and how I make these paintings. So most of these things are made from extra paper, extra ink, and extra paint. So I usually start stuff when I have a little bit of something to use up, and then I keep it in a pile and I keep working on it until it seems finished. So this one started out, I think this piece here is from like 2019 or 2020. And we used to have one of those big commercial arrow signs. I really love signs. And my husband wrote this message on the sign, which, it's a good thing to remember. This is almost more interesting on the back. I have a large collection of scraps that I use, and I'll kind of quilt things together. I wanted all of this work to be 9 by 12 inches, so I added this border. And I kind of like how it came out because it reminds me of like a game board that you might step onto different pieces. This one is a restaurant in my neighborhood that I really like, and it's in a very ugly building, but the people who own the restaurant have miraculously brought it up to its full aesthetic potential. And I'm really sorry I depicted it when it's kind of empty and barren, but it's not like that usually. I love driving by and seeing the patio full of people, but I don't know, I'm kind of looking at it when it's closed, I guess. But I love this place, and I also love this black paint. It's this acrylic called So Flat, and it's really, really matte. And I like working with this silhouette because it kind of helps me distill my ideas down and really simplify things. The background textures you see are carborundum collograph, and it's a little test piece that I made when I took a class in that topic at High Point Center for Printmaking. So again, with this work, I'm saving little test bits and then just reusing them because you don't want to get rid of that amazing texture. This is Vermont. I was fortunate to be invited to be a visiting artist at Vermont Studio Center last winter. And I did studio visits for several days in a row. And it was incredible. It was so energizing, and I loved meeting everyone and talking about their work. But I also needed a lot of downtime to recharge, so this is one of those downtime moments. And the studio visiting artist accommodations, there was a nice plaid blanket, and it was really nice and heavy too. And then just a Vermont view out the window. I live in West St. Paul, Minnesota, which is a suburb of the Twin Cities. This is my city's logo. It's kind of blobby there, so you can't see it very well, but it's got a star, but then it's also composed of three W's there on the sides. And this is a view of the city's water tower. It's from the big box hardware store on South Robert Street. And this is from a photo that my husband texted me. This started out as a gray piece of paper, and then I strategically added white for the snow and the tower, and then I did a trace monotype on top of it. It's one of my favorite processes, and you'll see it in some of the other works here too. Speaking of my husband, here he is, and that's me. And this piece is kind of about marriage. We have been married 22 years, and our daughter, our only child, went to college this year. And so we are just the two of us, well, plus two cats and a rabbit. But there's moments where you're like, oh, it's you again. And luckily, those are good moments. But there's sort of that, I don't know, that long marriage feeling of knowing each other and then also still learning about each other. And there's probably more I could say, but I'll just leave it because if I could say everything in words, then why make art? This is also trace monotype with stencils. This is another travel painting. And originally, and this is me, originally it was going to be me drawing in my sketchbook on the plane. But I couldn't figure out, like, how do you show that with this amount of people and that weird crush of bodies and everyone looking at their individual screens and the patterns that you see on a plane and just how strange the whole experience is. So I hope maybe you get, maybe you see the humor in this one. This is a self-portrait. And, there's nothing deep about this one. It's just me. This is my current favorite shirt. I love baseball shirts. And I got this one at a farmer's market in Door County, Wisconsin. This background is watercolor monoprint, and then I just put acrylic and trace monotype on top of there. This is a building in downtown St. Paul on East 7th Street. And this area of downtown St. Paul I find really funny and intriguing. And it looks sort of like, has a number of businesses that look like they're from Ben Catcher comics. And this is an animal hospital that both makes me laugh and also has kind of a big pathos to it. It has an enormous billboard on top. And I had to kind of edit it down to get it to fit, but in real life it says, hug your pet today, and there's actually like 4 or 5 painted animals up there. And I don't know, it just, there's something about animal hospitals that just intrigue me and make my heart swell. Here's another animal topic. This is our cat Pogo. Let me back up. So this started as a non-representational image. It was just this black background with polka dots. And I love non-representational work, but for myself, I don't feel attached to the work unless there's something from my life or something I can relate to. And so I started adding these mice in here because it reminded me of this YouTube channel that we watch that's a cat TV thing, and it has mice that go in and out of different holes. And so then I put our cat in there. And I just wonder, like, what is going through his head when he sees this? Is it abusive to him to make him watch this giant thing? Like, can you imagine as humans, like, if someone did this, if someone played with your mind this much? I don't know. But this is probably closer than he gets to any real mice. I mean, he's killed real mice before. But for him to sit there and watch these mice, and to actually, he can't hurt them. So he's really seeing them move around maybe more than he ever would in real life. It's just a weird thing and a funny thing and a strange, sad thing too. This is another travel image. This is the airport when I went to Vermont. So I took a picture of the gate because on this windowsill thing, there was this little pouch of flaked tuna, and I thought it was really funny. It wasn't open, it was just sitting there by itself. And I was going to make a painting of that, but it was just too weird and too unrelatable, I think. So maybe I kind of chickened out, but I ended up making more like traditional travel accessories, a roller bag, and a phone charging at the gate. But I don't know, maybe I will someday do one about the tuna. This one is, again, it's just a very simple topic. This is about a hat that I own that has a light on it. It's a knit beanie with a light. And I just enjoy walking with it in November and December when it's really cold outside and dark outside. And it's just a weird thing to have. So, those are the paintings that I have to show you today. Thank you so much for watching.